Welcome back to the Appsurd Show. Sardor's got a fancy new gadget on his face to share with us.
Yeah, for sure. It makes me remember this campaign from when one of the first smart glasses was from Amazon, I think back in it was 2019, I think. You know what the campaign said? It said something like, I think they did it intentionally. It said, "Let Alexa sit on your face well," or something like that. And it was a
Jesus.
meme. Like,
That when
Alexa, let
Bezos
Alexa.
was still running. Speaking of Bezos, did you see all the mannequins that they were making over in Venice?
Really? No, man. No, I haven't seen the mannequins.
He
Today is
got
the wedding day, right?
he got married, or he's getting married in Venice, and
So
people were
wild.
making like mannequins of him in a suit floating on the Amazon box and putting it down the canal with like dollar bills coming out of it. Like
Really?
it was like a soft protest, him
I
using
heard about the protest. Yeah.
yeah,
The Venetians are making it, right?
yeah, yep,
It's
exactly.
wild. Yeah, I mean, look, at 61 years old, he's getting married. What a life to live, man. He's probably
Yeah.
thinks he got like 60 more years to live.
Battle of the new age capitalism versus the old school Venetians, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which
All right. Yeah.
let's get into our pod.
Let's do it. Let's
That's
do it.
better.
Enough small talk. We'll save that for later. All right, we're gonna start off with one of Sardor's favorite topics. A tweet here about reviewing local businesses on Google. Guy Ethan says, "It's
Uh,
been 1 week since I started reviewing local businesses. Each photo I upload has my business logo and or phone number in it. 980 impressions from 12 reviews in 7 days for free. This will never be a major lead gen source, but it's such easy guerrilla marketing. What do you think?"
Dude, this is genius. The amount of, you know how many impressions I have on local businesses? I'll actually tell you. Like, I've become a Google Maps influencer
Yeah, you're at
last
like
year. I
level
mean, got
seven
this
now,
year.
right?
I'm level 7, yes. Let me actually look at my, like, the amount of reviews I have, dude, it's insane. The amount of impressions, I mean, I stopped doing it, like, recently, like, because I've been traveling and whatnot. But, dude, oh, I have, ready for this? I have 427,000 views on my review, dude. Oh, no,
Imagine if you would have uploaded
516,000.
our logo
That's
and
a
phone number on it the whole
516,000.
time.
Dude, we should seriously do this. Yeah. Oh, I'm at level 6. I'm like few thousand points away from level 7. If I start doing this again, I'll get to level 7. And honestly, this shit is so addictive. Like, I didn't realize how Google actually gamified their experience on Google Maps so well.
Yeah. And from what we've learned, it adds authority to what reviews you give. And, as a business, you want to get reviews from people that are at, level three plus, higher the better. That's what I've understood from it. Is that your take as
Yeah,
well?
I mean, our thing was like, hey, we're trying to promote our business location, and Google tends to like lock you, block you, and whatnot. But if you're the account owner who actually gives other people reviews, you have an authority that Google's going to be more gracious with you. Was our kind of thought. I think it worked because we have a ton of locations, right? So, and they haven't got banned, so I think it's working. I should get back to it, honestly.
Yep.
This time with this guerrilla marketing.
I'm gonna test out trying to get 1,000 impressions in 7 days and beat this guy's record.
Let's do
Let's
it.
see.
Let's do it. Yeah. And put our number on there and like a CTA. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody viewing like a local coffee shop would be like, "Oh, these guys, this review, huh? They do app development. Let me get some apps. Like, well, I'm gonna grab some coffee with vanilla and sugar. Oh, and an app to go with that. Like, no, it's gonna go that way.
And the
But
crazy part is what business, even even though it has your business's logo and phone number on it, what business is going to want to delete a review? Reviews are gold. You give them a 5-star review, you're guaranteed to keep the photo there.
that's true, actually. And you know what could happen is the customer could be the business itself. Like if we're trying to get a local restaurant an app, like they'd notice us.
Yeah.
That's a new era of cold pitching. Like leave a 5-star review on somebody's profile
Yes.
with your CTA for that business specifically tailored. That'd be
Yeah.
wild.
You got to get creative and have these guerrilla tactics these days. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody gets on the new wave, the trend, and things get old, get cold and old.
Exactly, exactly. So this is cool. I love this tactic.
Nice. We're gonna move on to a larger topic with a couple tweets for it here. It's pretty big in the startup space. Cluely. Cluely
Oh
has
yeah.
made massive plays, raised 15 million from A16Z. I believe that was a week ago. They threw a party the week prior that got busted by the cops. Their marketing team is on the top of their game. But it's attracted a lot of hate. And last week, the last couple weeks, Twitter's been filled with people either saying that they exposed the system prompts and the code
Yeah.
on Cluely's front end, or they entirely rebuilt it for less cost. So you
Wow.
have a lot of people that are coming for Cluely's head after
Wow.
their recent rise. What's your thoughts
Yeah.
here?
So first of all, to comment on like why people are doing this is like a lot of people underestimate these products. They think, oh, it's just a GPT wrapper. It's just a GPT wrapper. Yeah, but didn't we talk about how wrappers are more valuable than the fundamental technology sometimes because the technology that's underlying it, it could be GPT, could be Llama, it could be anything, right? But how you wrap it and how you market it is more important these days, right? So like, yeah, you can reverse engineer this and create it yourself. Are you going to be able to market it the same way? That's the thing, you know? So like with like software development becoming like easier and easier. I mean, I vibe coded an app this week in 10 minutes, which we can talk about, a journaling app, but I didn't market. I don't know how to vibe market. That's the next wave that's going to happen. But people who are hating on this product or other products that are like that, they just don't understand the value of these guys marketing. That's where it's at, right? How they present it, how they make a case for it, right? Because you can wrap a GPT in 1,000 million different ways, right? But where's the value? Where's the product market fit? And where's the presentation, right? That's what matters. So, I mean, with that all said, of course, it doesn't cancel the fact that these guys should have been a little more careful about their security. But I love that still they went like kind of full steam ahead with the product, kind of like the Facebook approach, right? Of move fast and break things, right? So these guys are moving fast and breaking things, and that's normal for a startup.
And to continue on with the marketing aspect of it, after all this hate, I do want to step back a little bit. And what is Cluely, right? Cluely,
Yeah.
their motto is cheat on everything. So the founder actually got kicked out of Colombia after building this software that it would allow him to cheat on technical interviews with Amazon, Meta, Facebook, you name it. He landed multiple offers. And when he started posting about this on Twitter, they rescinded them, reported him to the university. He gets kicked out of the university and builds Cluely. So I was always a little skeptical of, what actually is the product and the product value underneath it. But their marketing, in a response to all the hate, came through with this video that we're going to show here now. It actually is a product marketing video where they do a live demo that's very well curated. I'm not sure if you've seen this, Sardor.
I have not, no, but I've seen the original promo, but not this one. Let me
Yeah.
see. Recorded with Cooley. Huh.
The volume adds a lot of context when you can hear it. But after I seen this, my first text to you was, we need to seriously look at adding this to the team.
Yeah.
Giving live research, instructions, next steps, an agenda right there on screen overlaid that you can move around, to me is just so intuitive and could really increase productivity. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I tried this product. Honestly, I think where it lacked is like the onboarding wasn't great because I honestly couldn't figure it out and it was just slowing my computer down. And that's what I don't like about these products. When they slow your computer down, that's like, I remember like I remember I had a pendant and
Yep.
initially that thing was called Limitless. No, before it was called Limitless, it was called Rewind. And a rewind thing was just slowing down my computer really bad.
Gotcha.
So this was kind of a same case here, but mainly it wasn't as bad as a rewind, but it was like I couldn't figure out the user experience, and so I think they lacked the onboarding. Products like this, they need a proper onboarding. Like when I got Fathom, I remember they got on call with me and onboarded me personally, and they were like wait list based, and they were onboarding X amount of users per batch, to make sure that whoever's using it uses it properly, right? So that they can recommend it to their friends and onboard them. Same thing with Superhuman, right? They had an onboarding call with me initially. I mean, they're not doing it now. You see, like you weren't using it because they didn't onboard you properly, right? When I
Yeah.
got you to Superhuman. That's I think where these products, especially when they get bigger and they get a little more bloated, it's even harder to onboard users, like to do self onboarding, right? So I think actually that's a great product opportunity is like to do like AI based onboarding tool. Like when instead of a human, you can get on a call with AI and AI can show you product around. I think that would be a fantastic AI product that somebody should definitely build. With the amount of software that's going to come out, especially, there's going to be so much demand for it, right?
Yeah.
This one is, I mean, if it works as shown, were you able to use it, Andrew?
I still haven't downloaded it yet. I've had that, it's trending too much. I'm not gonna join the bandwagon feel with it, but
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
nice, and I'll talk great about it.
Yeah, you're the tool guy in our team.
Yeah. I just love looking at tools and appreciating the marketing that comes out of those tools. So a lot of the time, that's what catches my eye, but can be a double-edged sword. You gotta look under the hood at what's actually built. A lot of the time, when they have a good marketing team, they have a good product and engineering. That resonates throughout the organization, but not always.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I would say, I mean, this one didn't fly for me. What I am using instead, you know what I love is these days like simpler products. Like I'm using Whisperflow right now every day. Have you heard about Whisperflow?
I've heard that it transcribes your voice to text, so you don't have to text anymore.
Yeah, yeah, which sounds like, well, that was around forever, right? They took something that's been around forever and it sucked and they made it into a proper product. So this one actually uses AI for transcription and it catches your tone and it catches your pauses. And if I said a word like a green, and then I say, oh no, not green, red, it catches that and it just writes red instead of me saying, oh, not green, red. You know what I mean? It's like
Gotcha. That is
intelligent. Yeah, and it's like a keyword based. I can use it like anywhere. I just have to like hold a button on my Mac and it works everywhere. I'm even using it on my phone as an alternative keyword. And I love this product. It's super simple and it solves the problem of me not I hate typing. And this just saves me so much time. If you think about it, such a simple product, they just reinvented what's been around, improved it, made it workable. And I think there's a huge opportunity for other AI startups to also like take something that's kind of been out there for a while but nobody uses properly and like make it work properly, Instead of trying to like Cooley, I don't know, man. If it works well, I'm bullish on Cooley as like their founders. These guys are smart. I think they're eventually, if this one doesn't work out, they're going to pivot to something else and make it work. These guys are really smart about marketing. They're marketing guys who happen to just have invented something, not invented, but like wrapped something that's pretty cool. But these guys are more, I don't think they're product guys, they're marketing guys.
all right. And we'll tell. We'll see how coolly we'll check back in on it
Yeah.
in 6 months. Awesome. Let's look over at another topic that we've kind of talked about here, AI and design a couple times. But this tweet announces the launch of a Cursor Figma baby, so to say. Now,
Huh.
recently Figma bought Payload CMS, which
Right.
it's not a comparable to Cursor by any means, but they are going more vertical, integrating CMS style code and AI open
Huh.
source product over to Figma. So a lot going on here. What do you think, Sardor?
Wow. So this one, like, hold on. You can generate designs with Figma with the prompt, right? That's one, right? And Figma now you can prompt to make a design. Wow, that's huge. That's huge because we've been using other tools like Google Stitch, which by the way was Galileo was like remade into Google Stitch, which was a nice exit for them because Galileo AI was not a great product. Google Stitch is better now. But I think those guys they got acqui-hired and they're now at Google like doing that. But there was no Figma native like prompt to design things, so this is huge. I love this. Second, yes, I love how Figma is evolving from just a design tool to a proper like code front end thing. Because yeah, when you're building design, you're essentially building a lot of the logic. Why is this not producing code is just always pissed me off. So this is huge because we do a lot of work on front end You know, a lot of our clients, they contract us for front end work, and this is going to save a massive amount of time. We were just about to go into Nordcraft, right? Just because Nordcraft produces code, it's kind of similar to Figma. There's another one called what was the other one? The Webflow competitor, the Framer. Framer is very similar to Figma, right? But it produces code. And what a lot of Framer developers, they're ex Figma designers. They go from Figma to Framer easily because Framer kind of copied the UI. But I think like it only made sense for Figma to become the Framer of its own, you know, because like the reason Framer exists is because it just took a really nice system of Figma and it made it into a coding structure. So like if designers were able to become front-end developers, then there's no reason why they should just stay in Figma and do an extra step in Framer. They could just do things on Figma. And I love this. So I hope it works as advertised. I'm just generally very bullish on Figma. So I think they probably nailed it. Can't wait to get my hands on it. We should come to Reweb to get early access to this.
Yes, absolutely.
Is Reweb Figma's own product or is it a separate
No,
startup?
no, this is a solo entrepreneur that built this specifically. So it is separate, but it's the same thing that Figma is trying to do with the payload.
Okay, well, but I'd still love to try this. But yeah, I think it's kind of hard if Figma itself is going to have it natively. Like, how are these guys going to survive? I don't get it.
We shall see. There's riches in the niches, right?
True, true. I mean, yeah, worst case, they'll just pivot to something, right? So
Yep.
hopefully before they run out of money.
All right. Maybe Canva will buy him. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Canva's doing well with their own thing, I think. But yeah.
Yep. All right, we're gonna move on to a trend I've seen a lot here in the last few weeks. The open source alternative trend. Everybody is building an AI this or that as an open source alternative to X, Y, and Z. This tweet here says, "FU Google Meet and Zoom." He built called AI native open source alternative to Zoom and Google
Interesting.
Meet. What do you think on this trend? We have another one over here. This one had almost 1 million views. The open
Interesting.
source CapCut alternative.
I would love to. So this is where Cluely could come in actually, because I have no clue on like okay, open source, we know what it is, right? It's just instead of commercializing, you're open up the code base, anybody can contribute. The advantage of open source is that the developer community loves it and they jump in usually and improve it and they make contributions and everybody contributes. And that's like biggest example of an open source product is actually WordPress. WordPress.org. There's WordPress.com and there's WordPress.org. WordPress.org is where the .com came from, and it was an open source platform where this guy Matt he created WordPress and he made it open source and everybody else contributed it and the code was open. And matter of fact, Wix.com was originally a version of WordPress open source. They literally took the open source version of WordPress and they built Wix on top of it, right? And many people don't know it. That actually pissed the guy off because like they made it into a commercial product because the purpose of open source is kind of like a nonprofit, right? It's like they took a nonprofit asset and made it a commercial asset, right? But my thing is like, okay, I get the open source philosophy. It kind of improves the internet for everybody. Everybody contributes, but these guys doing open source, I don't get it. Like, how are they going to make money is the question, right? I mean, I guess they make a name for themselves, like, and there's some collateral value from it, right?
I think that's
Do
what
you
it
have more
really is.
context on that? Yeah.
You can see it's in the build in public Twitter. I think that's a lot of what it is these developers that are vibe coding, making a name for themselves, are building things quickly for, things that there's enough users that there's a group of haters for Zoom or Google Meet
Yeah.
and other developers, might want to put it into their vibe coded platform as well. So that's my best take on, what this might be from is the clout that you kind of mentioned there.
Yeah, we shall see. Again, I think it might be an acquisition by somebody else. But yeah, I love that this is going towards open source alternatives. But again, when there is no commercial aspect, usually those aren't like, there's no support as we are used to it. There's no other elements that we're used to with the commercial product, right? And like it's hard to compete with Google Meet because Google Meet is so well integrated within the Google Suite, the G Suite, right?
What about WordPress.org? You just gave us the open source story on that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, WordPress.org.
Like as in like
Open source.
they made a commercial version of the WordPress eventually. Oh yeah, that could be it actually. Yeah. They could make a commercial version afterwards. That's right.
Or I'm coming from the perspective of, those guys started WordPress as a nonprofit, right? Not for
Yeah,
any commercial value.
yeah,
Maybe they're like that WordPress guy.
maybe, but hopefully they make money. WordPress made billions, but they could make even more, if they were a little more commercially oriented. I mean, billions is enough for, WordPress still hosts like more than 30% of all the web. So
Yeah,
it's
pretty
huge.
wild, pretty wild. And
Yeah.
still don't love WordPress.
Yeah, it's outdated. It's outdated, but they had a good run.
All right, well, that was the last topic of discussion. Unless you had anything else, Sardor.
No, I just wanted to, yeah, say one thought that just kicked in this week for me on vibe coding. This one thing is that currently vibe coding and software development, not vibe coding. Software development currently is at the stage where media was in 2010 or 2005 through 2010, when the media was getting decentralized, as in like we were used to just media being centralized around TV, right? And then the social media came out, and now anybody with a smartphone can create content. And currently, there's still centralized media on TV and movies in Hollywood, but most of the media is produced by these individuals, influencers and bloggers and us, and there's so much more content, so much more variety, right? Same thing is about to happen with software development. It's happening already. I created my own journaling app this week in 10 minutes using Firebase Studios and my vibe coding platform. And now this is the journaling app I'm going to use. I'm going to be using now instead of Apple Journal, which I used to use, because I created a very custom feature for myself that is privacy focused. Like it obfuscates every sentence I finish so that when I'm in public, when I'm writing a journal, nobody can read what I'm writing. That's a very custom feature. But I created it for myself because it cost nothing for me to create it. So we're entering the era where creating software is going to be as easy as creating a TikTok video. And everybody's going to have 10, 20 different apps of their own that only they use for themselves. Some of them are going to be used by others. They're going to be monetized. Some are going to be very individual and just for themselves. Like, you have your family videos and photos that you only keep for yourself, and you have your public videos on Instagram, right? Same thing's about to happen with app development, is already happening with software development. And yeah, that's the thought that kicked into me. It's like, what a wild world. But we're still going to have agencies like us create professional apps. It's not like it's going to kill us off, but we're going to be like the Hollywood. We're going to be like the TV level production, and
Yeah.
individuals are going to create their own like TikTok videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a really interesting way to put it. It's that the medium of that media transport, the medium changes. When the iPhones came out, 3 cameras on the back for HD 4K quality. When people started saying that you have that movie grade cinema camera in your pocket, I think that's when things really change, fully to complete level playing field. So
But that
it will
still
be
didn't
interesting.
become the way the Hollywood shoots, though, right? It just
Fair,
improved the
absolutely.
quality of like everyday videos
Yeah, absolutely. Now I have seen some videos that people make on YouTube or TikTok that
that
are
are pretty
pretty
good. Yeah, yeah,
clever,
yeah, yeah.
right? So
But but what it
it's
did
close.
is it increased the market. It increased the TAM of like video creation, content creation. Same's about to happen with app development. But what another takeaway I had for this is like agencies like us and app development studios and software development professionals aren't going to die off. We're going to still be there, but we're going to be like the Hollywood of media. We're going to be like the Hollywood of the app development. You know what I mean? And the
Because
rest of the guys are going to be like the TikTokers.
yeah, and by sheer volume, there's going to be more and more apps out there. Lovable CEO, I think we talked about his tweet where he said we rebuilt a quarter of the internet, over the weekend during the AI showdown, which kind of rolls into one of my thoughts on vibe coding that I texted you about earlier this week. It comes down to 2 things: vibe coding, doing vibe coding well. That's 2 different things there, right? And it
Oh
comes
yeah.
down to your general comprehension and understanding of building apps, as well as the same for AI, using AI. If you know how to use
Yeah.
AI well, and you know how to build apps, or at least the general things to talk about, the X, Y, and Z button, that specific terminology, you're going to be a great vibe coder. And in turn, all those people that you mentioned that are going to be trying to build their apps will end up with a 50, 60, 70% complete product that are going to need an agency to finish it off, right?
Which is what's
And
happening
why
with us right now. Getting so many requests for vibe from vibe coders who are like, "Oh, finish up my app."
Exactly. Exactly. And we're not shying away from it. We're bringing on a vibe coding team to talk to you about a vibe coding monthly subscription for access to the devs, productize the whole experience.
100%. Yeah, that was a great thought that I saw yesterday. We gotta talk about it separately so our competitors don't see it.
Yeah.
But love the era we're in. I'm more bullish on this whole thing than ever. What a great time to be alive, guys. Like, and I recommend to everybody who's listening, go vibe code. We're creating a vibe coding channel in our company, telling everybody to vibe code and like create their own products. It just puts you in a thought of like understanding how app development, how software development works, and you're gonna fail a couple of your first trials, but you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna become a product creator. You don't have to become a coder anymore to become a product creator. It's like being a content creator. To be a content creator, you just need an iPhone. Now, to be a product creator, you just need your laptop. And soon maybe just a
Yeah.
phone too. By the way, somebody needs to create an app for vibe coding where you can create an app on your phone on an app for apps. We
Yeah,
should do that.
that's one of Replic's big marketing tactics that you can vibe code on their app. Yeah, yep,
I'm on it now. Then I'm gonna get on it
yep.
right now.
Get on it. I've been hesitant. I feel like I can get more done in my laptop. I have my
For sure.
GP,
Me too. Me too.
GPT window open for assistance, but on the app, it feels like one of those things you just don't want to do in the app. You know?
No, 100%. Yeah, I get pissed off too when I'm on the app and like trying to do like laptop things, as I say. But it's like, sometimes like that guy that you sent on Slack, he pulled like a product update or something, right? That was wild. Like he got a bug report from a customer, and then he
Yep.
had a Replit app connected to, or like
Yeah,
cursor app.
Code Rabbit connected to that to understand the bug, and then Replit or Claude Code connected to that to fix it. Yeah, crazy.
Exactly. That was like that's the era we're in. So it's going to be a hybrid work. Some things are going to be done on the phone. Like sometimes we Slack on the phone, we email on the phone, but most of the times we're on the laptop. Same thing with app development and software development. Man, I'm super excited.
We should make a list things that used to be laptop, things that aren't, and then what's coming next.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're
Good
gonna put
stuff.
it
Good
there.
pod today, Andrew. Great topics.
Oh yeah, good stuff.